All right, let's look at part 2 here. So we left with this ugly trinomial right here. We're going to put in the quadratic formula. So remember, a is the number in front of x squared, b is the number in front of x, and c is the big old plain ugly number right here. Quadratic formula we got here, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a. So we plug these a, b, c's in here. First I start with the negative sign and then put b, all of that b in parentheses. Negative 2 plus the square root of 3. Then plus or minus the square root. Here's b again, raised to the second power. It's in parentheses. Minus 4 times the a number times the c number, all in parentheses there. All divided by 2 times the a number, 2 times 1. So then we start doing some stuff to this. The first thing I'll do is distribute this negative out here to both of these terms on the outside. And that will give us 2, positive 2, but then it makes the square root of 3 minus the square root of 3. Then my plus or minus symbol. And then under the square root, the first thing we've got to do is square this thing, which means multiply it times itself. So we did a couple of those. I'm going to pause it while I draw that out. Alrighty, so we got, we're squaring this over here. So negative 2 plus the square root of 3 times negative 2 plus the square root of 3. So we take the negative 2 times the negative 2 is 4. The negative 2 times the square root of 3 makes negative 2 square roots of 3. Then we take this one times both of them. This square root of 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 2 square roots of 3. And there is a little faster way, but we'll go ahead and do it this way. And then the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, again, is just plain old 3. Then we combine the numbers of the 4 plus the square root of, or 4 plus this 3 over here makes 7. And we got negative 2 square roots of 3, and negative 2 square roots of 3 makes negative 4 square roots of 3. So this part we're going to put as this now. You know, this thing squared is really 7 minus 4 square roots of 3. Now we'll multiply this out. Of course, 1 times this won't do anything. So we're going to take the negative 4 times all of this, these two things here. Distribute this. We can get rid of the 1 times 1. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then negative 4 times negative square root of 3 is plus 4 square roots of 3. All right, the bottom is just 2 times 1, 2. Now we can see inside of this, we can simplify. I guess I'll come down here and pause it for a second while I write that out. All right, here we go again. So this 7 is going to get the minus 4, the plain old numbers, and then we'll do the square roots of 3 thing. So 7 minus 4 is 3. Uh-oh. That's okay. That's right. And then negative 4 square roots of 3 and combined with plus 4 square, they just cancel each other out. We got negative 4 and plus 4 square roots of 3. Those go away. So we just have the square root of 3 there. So now we get 2 answers from this. One of them with plus the square root of 3 and one of them with minus the square root of 3. So I'll take a minute to split those up into 2. Be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back. So again, we're going to split it up into 2, one with the plus sign right here and one with the minus sign, minus the square root of 3. So we'll simplify these. So of course on this one, the minus square root of 3 and the plus square root of 3 cancel out. and we get 2 over 2. Well, 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So another solution is x equals 1. Now, if we do the factor, remember this is a solution, the factor would be what? Getting rid of this 1 over here and getting rid of 0, minus 1 to both sides. So the factor would be x minus 1. And there it is. So here's a factor. Here's a solution. Okay. The other one, these two negative square roots of 3 will make negative 2 square roots of 3. So we'll have 2 minus 2 square roots of 3. Whoops, can't write. That's a 3. Well, that's a 3, okay? Divided by 2. So now both of these things on top will divide by 2. This 2 divided by the 2 is 1. And this negative 2 square roots of 3 divided by 2 will be just negative 1 square root of 3, or just negative square root of 3. And there's the other solution. X equals 1 minus the square root of 3. Now, if you solve this to get the factor, well, we got to minus this away, and to get rid of the minus square root of 3, we got a plus the square root of 3. And that's to both sides. We put the minus 1 and the plus square root of 3 on this side. So this equals 0 over here. And here's the factor. It's going to be x minus 1 plus the square root of 3. So again, here's our factor. Here's our solution. Okay. So I'm going to put an S here. That's a solution. This is a factor. This is a solution. This is a factor. Okay. Then up at the top, the original solution and factor, we're up here. So this was the original first solution. And then we figured out the factor was right here. Okay. So let's see, I'll write them all at the bottom. It's because it's such a mess. Let me pause while I do that. All right, to wrap it up, we get all the solutions. One of the solutions was x equals 1 plus the square root of 3. That was the one they gave us. Then we found these other two, x equals 1 minus the square root of 3, and x equals 1. And here the factors are. One of the factors is x minus 1 minus the square root of 3. And the other factor times the other factor, x minus 1 plus the square root of 3 times x minus 1. Believe it or not, if you multiplied all this out, you would get that original polynomial. We'll leave that for another day. I love you, sweetie. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Rissa.